And I told my kids, if we're gonna go on the beach, watch out so you don't step in any human poop.
I've heard people are using tents and they're just like doing it in the sand so no one can see. I think it's really gross.
They're digging holes and they're pooping and putting tents up because they don't want to go to the washrooms. And I'm here to fact check that because that's not a lie. So
it makes me not want to swim and not want to be on the beach.
To be a responsible parent, you should be showing your kids that you can actually throw out their diaper in the washroom, not bury it at a beach.
Some of it's just common sense. Like, why would you do that?
They dig a hole and they use it for their bathroom.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Wasaga Beach, Ontario, the world's longest freshwater beach. But you know something, folks? There is something a little more putrid on the beach these days. Indeed, a local resident by the name of Natty, she recently took to social media in which she accused newcomers, mostly from India, of defecating on the beach and then burying their excrement in the sand.
There are Indian families that dig holes and put tents and poop. They do it on the beach now, and they did it off my backyard. There was like 3 different families of maybe 25, 30 people that came for barbecues. They would set up right on the fence of my backyard. I seen them digging the hole, and I seen them put the tent. When they left, there was poop. That happened 3 separate times. I've had to yell at people for on the borderline property line of my backyard. And yes, it was Indian families. So that's not false. You can check my town's page where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach, because they're digging holes and they're pooping and putting tents up because they don't want to go to the washrooms. And I'm here to fact check that because that's not a lie. So
Natty's video has gone viral. Most of the comments are, as what you would imagine, people expressing their disgust with this situation. Naturally, because it's 2024, some have accused Natty of being racist. But the thing is, we have reached out to sources and they confirm that Natty is 100% correct in her assertions. For example, we communicated with an ex-Wasaga Beach bylaw officer, and he says not only are people defecating in the sand and then burying the evidence, but they are also burying used diapers. What's more, he says, when you see some of these tents, what you might think of a structure for people to get out of the scorching sun, well, in some cases, those tents are nothing more than temporary outhouses. This is where certain people are going to do their business. Again, it's absolutely gross. Also, as we understand from this ex-Wasaga Beach bylaw officer, when he would ticket people who he caught defecating on the beach, he was accused of being a racist, and sometimes he and his colleagues would be swarmed with groups of up to 20 people. They wouldn't throw punches, but imagine being in that situation where you're outnumbered 20-1 and people are calling you every nasty name under the book simply for doing your job, simply for telling people, do not defecate on a public beach. Also, we reached out to our source, Ted Smith. He is originally from India. That's not his real name. He uses a pseudonym to protect himself. But he says, yes, indeed, this is a fact of life on Wasaga Beach, as well as some other beaches in Ontario. And he attributes it to a cultural mindset, namely people who are well off in his community who come to the beach have the idea that they will defecate, they will leave their used diapers behind, they will leave their litter behind from a barbecue because somebody lower down on the caste totem pole, if you will, employed by the town, will come and clean up their messes. In fact, Ted says in India, there really is no such thing as civic duty. Now, please, folks, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just quoting somebody who is originally from India and has a real good handle on what's going on. Now, we have reached out to the town of Wasaga Beach. I never heard back from anybody with the town, but just earlier today, the mayor issued the following statement. Quote, "The town of Wasaga Beach takes all resident and visitor feedback seriously. However, we reject the premise of complaints that lack evidence and promote misinformation. While the town cannot speak for the Ministry of Environment or Ontario Parks, who operates, patrols, and manages all the beach areas within Wasaga Beach Provincial Park, we can speak to the facts." End quote. And some of those facts the mayor goes on to point out, folks, is the fact that there are several public washrooms available for people to use at Wasaga Beach, which is undeniably true. But it is also true that this is not so-called misinformation. We have spoken to two people who say they have witnessed this firsthand. We have seen the social media of Natty, who has called out this situation. I mean, I think the mayor is just terrified about going to the third rail of race. As we've been told, it is mainly people from the Indian community that are doing this. And I'm not trying to malign anyone. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive. But we are living in a province, in a country, in the first world, and this cannot and should not be tolerated. So for the mayor to say that this is hearsay and isn't supported by the facts, it's not true. In fact, he reminds me of the movie Jaws, when the mayor was dismissing the shark attacks because, that would have an adverse effect on tourism. Nah, that's not flying with me, Mr. Mayor.
I pulled a tooth the size of a shot glass out of the wrecked hull of a boat out there, and it was the tooth of a great white.
It was Ben Gardner's boat. It was all chewed up. I helped tow it in. You should have seen him. Where is that tooth?
In any event, folks, my cameraman Lincoln J and I, we're going to walk around the beach. We're going to see if any of the beachgoers have anything to say about this very disturbing situation, and hopefully we'll even bump into a member of Bylaw on Patrol and see what they have to say about the excrement issue. Let's go.
I heard about that, yeah. People are in the beach, and then they're burying it like, nothing happened.
Why would people do that? I mean, sir, we're right next to a washroom here. It's not as though people are being denied facilities.
I just feel like some people, they don't know life yet, so they just beach, bury it like an animal,
And they are defecating on the beach.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I have heard about that.
What do you make of that, ma'am?
I think it's disgusting, honestly. I think it's really gross. People could step on it.
I know for a fact, and it's not just Beach 1 here. I used to have property on beach, Allenwood Beach, and we had that problem there. And of course, we could find it because kids would be playing in the sand, making a sandcastle or whatever, and there would be poop in the sand. And it's a thing. It's without sounding like a racist or anything like that, and it has nothing to do with being racist. It's just in different countries, people have different traditions and different things.
Yeah, it's very bad because
I feel very sad about it, It's not a good thing, yeah.
I think it's horrible. I think it's terrible.
They should not do that to the beach. It's like a great place.
It's not very cool because it's a beach, a public place, and I think we should respect that and the fact that there's other people around and things like that.
Pure disrespect of our beaches, of Canada, of just everything. There are public washrooms. There's no charge to use the washroom.
Why would people do this?
I don't know. It's gross, I think.
Yeah.
There's washroom, there's right there, and there's everywhere, so I don't know why they do that.
It's crazy. Why people do this?
People coming to Wasaga Beach, and if you can imagine, defecating on the beach and burying dirty diapers.
Really?
What do you make of that, sir?
I hadn't heard anything about that, but I'd prefer it not to happen.
Yeah. But the question is, why is it happening? I can see in walking distance, there's plenty of public washrooms. You can see that one just across the street. Why would somebody do that?
I couldn't tell you. It doesn't seem necessary.
We've heard about it before we came here, and we were doubting whether we should come here or not.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So far, it's been okay.
Yes.
We haven't seen any problems.
Okay.
But we were doubting ourselves before we came here, and we thought we would take a chance and see how it is.
But isn't that sad? I mean, the idea of going to the beach is to relax, to enjoy this beautiful water, this beautiful sand, and the idea that, you know, there might be a horrible surprise package lurking beneath the sand, that kind of ruins the day almost, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
It's not just on Wasaga Beach, it's beaches from all over, from the Muskokas, all over Lake Huron, everywhere. They're defecating everywhere, and it's totally disgusting.
Why would people do this?
You got me. I can't think of a real good reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross and disgusting, if you ask me.
And folks, I think it's important to point out that it's not as though beachgoers are being denied an opportunity to use a bathroom. Right here on the main drag, there are washroom facilities. It's literally just meters away from the main beach. So in addition to this whole idea of defecating on the beach being disgusting, is this not an example of outrageous laziness that people don't want to simply walk over to where the washrooms are? It's not as though people are being denied the opportunity to go to the bathroom. So can you explain why people would be not only so disgusting but so lazy?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Nowadays, everyone's lazy.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay, so you can tell me different. And Brian Smith's a great mayor. Our council's a great council, doing a great job here. But I think he's just trying to appeal and appease. Right? He probably hasn't witnessed it himself personally.
This is the world's longest freshwater beach. It's a gem. And then to desecrate it with excrement and dirty diapers, this strikes me as being beyond gross.
I mean, I guess some people aren't raised right. That's the best way I can explain it. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen no yet, but if I see definitely gonna fight someone.
Why would somebody go to the bathroom on the beach when you can cross the street?
That's guys is now, like I will not recommend to anybody go in the sea, so he will do washroom. It's not good thing.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, yes.
What do you think about that, ma'am? If you ever had to go to the bathroom, you're not going to do it on the beach, are you?
Personally, I wouldn't use the bathroom on the beach because that's just really disgusting, and I don't think I wouldn't want anyone seeing me use the washroom on the beach.
And you seem like nice ladies to me. If you have to go to the bathroom, you're not going to do it on the beach, are you?
No.
Is there a cultural disconnect? Because what's been reported, and we've talked to ex-bylaw officers, it's mainly people from India that are doing this. So maybe this is a cultural norm back home. Maybe there's no public bathrooms back home, but that's not the case here. And
no, there's public bathrooms everywhere here, but also it's like if you come into Canada, you're kind of trying to embrace the Canadian culture. Why would you bring your culture with you, you know?
Well, 100%. And I mean, isn't it a public safety issue?
Yeah, it's definitely a public safety issue. But if we were to go to India and bring our culture over there, I think we'd kind of get frowned upon for doing that. So if they come here and do the same thing, you know, it's a thing of mutual respect, right?
Is it time to ban fully enclosed tents on the beach?
In theory, yes, but in practice, it's hard because a lot of people use enclosed tents just to get cover from the sun.
Right. So what about something like that? You see this canopy, you can get out of the sun that way, right?
It just becomes, it's kind of gray, right? You might have some tents that are kind of enclosed, kind of not enclosed. It might just become too difficult.
We're here with, family, friends, our kids, our grandkids. And you got to watch where you walk. It was never like this.
Well, folks, as luck would have it, I was able to flag down a vehicle with Parks Ontario and spoke to a park ranger. And contrary to what the mayor is saying here, she is aware of this issue, and she was able to tell me what the fine threshold is if they catch somebody going to the bathroom on the beach. Here's how my interaction went. We're just up from Toronto. That's my cameraman, Lincoln J. We're doing a story about people who are defecating on the beach and, burying dirty diapers. It's based on a local who made a social media posting that went viral. Do you have any information that you could share about what's happening on the beach?
No, I do not.
Okay, have you heard about this problem happening?
Yes, I have.
Okay then. How do we stop it from happening?
Unless we see it happening, we can't really do anything personally.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, that's all we can do.
Do you know what the fine is if you catch somebody doing this?
Yes, we do have a fine.
Oh, and how much would that be, ma'am?
fine is $155.
Okay. Maybe we have to raise the fine? Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, then. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Would you support the idea of banning tents on the beach?
I would support that idea.
Okay.
Closed-in tents, at least.
Okay, then.
Yeah, if you can still see what's going on within the tent, then I think that's okay. But once you start closing it off, it's questionable.
And it's all simple as just banning tents. That's all. They ban alcohol, for crying out loud. They ban smoking.
Even if they had, you can only have a clear, if it's clear for everybody to see. In there. So
that would be like a greenhouse in the sun, though.
Exactly. But if that's the only way it's going to stop, or ban them completely, have a sun umbrella where you cannot enclose anything.
Well, folks, my cameraman Lincoln J and I have spent several hours here at Wasaga Beach. Everyone we spoke to, well, they were unanimous that what is happening on this beach is disgusting and gross, and, well, quite frankly, it is the height of laziness. As you can see behind me, here are some public washrooms. We're maybe, 30 meters away from the beach. Are you telling me people can't walk this distance and take care of business properly? And please, let's park allegations of racism and cultural insensitivity. Defecating on a beach, burying used diapers on a beach, calling that out is not being racist. It's not being culturally insensitive. It is taking a stance for public safety, hygiene, and sanitation. This has to be stamped out. Maybe the mayor of Wasaga Beach is quite literally burying his head in the sand in terms of addressing this grotesque issue, but we have to take a stance. We have to do everything we can to prevent the world's longest freshwater beach from being desecrated in such a grotesque way. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Well, folks, I know you appreciate it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, and let's face it, most of the mainstream media, they would never cover a story like this. It's too third rail given the race issue. But we need your help. We don't receive a nickel from the Justin Trudeau Liberals. We depend on your donations. If you can, please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation.